Hello, good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight?
Doing great, Chevelle. Thanks so much for having us. Thanks for having me.
Yes. No, thank you so much for all being a part of our Melanin Market event. This is the first time that we're hosting this event with Associated Black Charities, so we're so excited that all of you are here tonight and all of you will join us next week for this first ever virtual event. So for tonight's training, it's just going to be a quick deep dive into the Remo Marketplace, which functions very similarly to the Zoom platform. But I do want to get started about talking about what the Melanin Market is and why it is so important that we're hosting this event, especially in this time and in this climate as well. The Melanin Market is a celebration of Black entrepreneurship, culture, and community. It's a space where Black-owned businesses, creatives, and professionals are going to come together to showcase their work, connect with new audiences, and build lasting relationships. Our goal is to create economic opportunities, encourage collaboration, and amplify the voices of Black businesses and innovators. This event is more than just a marketplace. It's a movement that supports sustainability and growth within the Black community. To make sure that we all have the best experience with today's session, we will guide you through the Remo platform. Again, the platform functions very similarly to Zoom, and especially the Zoom breakout rooms. And again, the platform is Remo, where we're going to be hosting the event space for next week. So again, we're so excited to have all of you on tonight and hope that this walkthrough is going to be extremely helpful for you to learn how to navigate the platform with ease so that when you're on next week, that we're able to maximize your participation. And before we get started, does anyone have any preliminary questions about the platform, about the event, or anything about Associated Black Charities in general?
Congratulations on 2 years.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. So I want to be conscientious of everyone's time tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, what we really want to cover tonight is making sure that all of our vendors have a smooth setup and navigation process. We want to make sure that you can see us in the background accessing the system so that, again, there are little to no technical issues the day of the event. So we'll go over any browser capabilities, the best devices to use for this event, how to troubleshoot any issues, and to make sure that you all get registered on that Remo platform. We also will provide tips for engagement with the attendees that will be at the event. Again, this event is all about making connections. So we'll show you how to move throughout the event space, interact with others, and take advantage of all the networking opportunities that are available within this space as well. And lastly, we'll make sure that we answer any questions that you have once we're on the platform, and just to make sure that those troubleshooting issues the day of run smoothly for the event. So first, I want to get started before we actually go onto the platform, just talking about briefly some event day preparation. We are going to ask that all of our vendors log in at least 20 to 30 minutes early, just to make sure that you're able to be set up in your space. It gives the staff time to make sure that we're able to make sure that your camera and microphone works, and to troubleshoot any issues that you may have the day of before attendees start arriving. We will also share tonight, and I'm going to drop it in the chat box shortly, the actual registration for the Remo platform so that you're able to get into this space. I do ask that the same registration that you used to register for the event through our other platform is the same email address that you use for Remo, so that we can make sure that we're allowing you access into the space during that 20 to 30 minute time period. And if you give me 1 second, I'm going to drop that link in for you all. Okay, so in the chat box is going to be the Remo link. Again, you have registered through the other platform, but to access the event space the night of, you will need to be registered through the Remo link, and it will send reminders along with the staff to make sure that you are all on for the event as well. So just give everybody just a few seconds where if you do want to sign up now that you're able to. Okay, perfect. And again, we'll make sure that we're going to do a wrap-up email after this training session as well. And we'll make sure that we include the link along with this video that's being recorded as well in there for you to watch for playback. And another quick tip for the event is to make sure that you're using a desktop or a laptop for this event. You do have the ability to use a tablet, but sometimes the functionality isn't the same with using a desktop or laptop. So I like to make sure that you know ahead of time, just so that you do make that change for the event. And we do also want to make sure, and we'll show you as well, to make sure your camera and microphones are turned on, that you have a clear background as well, so that you have a professional setting. So if there are no questions, I know that was a really quick overview. We're going to do a dive into the platform, and my colleague Amber Merrick is on the other end, and she'll begin to share her screen so we can see what the platform looks like.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can, Amber.
Okay, great. So my audio is going to be on Zoom with you, but I'm going to turn my camera on the platform. I think. Okay, there we go. Okay, hi everybody. As you can see, I set up a little virtual background here. And while I do have a lot of things opening right now, it's a little glitchy, but I promise it won't look like this on the date of. And so the first thing that you can see is just a layout of what kind of looks like, I don't know, like an open food court to me. And there are different setups of tables, and you'll see that some of them are named with actual businesses that have registered for this event. You can see them here. You can also see that there are four chairs at this table here, and that is the max amount of people who can be at that table at any time. So the spaces work in real time like that. So if I'm sitting there and then 3 people walk up to my booth, I can only engage with those 3 people at a time, and then other people would have to come back later once a spot opens up. As you can see now, Chevelle and I can see one another as if we're in a Zoom breakout because we're sitting in the same spot right here. But our colleague Kamari is over here at the Associated Black Charities table, so we can't see her, okay? The other thing is that we have 5 floors. If you go up to the top here, you can see all of the different floors, and you can just navigate through these. I'm gonna leave Chevelle now, and I'm gonna go to floor 2. It'll prompt me and ask if I want to leave, and I'll say yes. And then it takes me into a different floor with a different set of tables and businesses and services. As the vendor, we want to encourage you to stay at your table, because if you leave, it will be unmanned if no one else is there, unless you have an assistant or a backup or somebody else who can sit there while you go peruse the other businesses. We do want to encourage you to stay there throughout the duration of the event, or no one will be there if people come to your table. I'm gonna go back down. And so I'm actually gonna go over here to Associated Black Charities. I just double click to go to a different table. Hey,
Amber.
and so now I can see Kamari because she was already sitting in that section. And if you look at the bigger map, you can see our 2 circles here together. And so within this like private Zoom, we can have a chat. So I can go to a general chat here, or I can go to the table chat. And so this way I would just be sharing with Kamari. And so let's just say we're talking about merchandise. I can drop a link. And I can say, hey girl, you said you like this sweatshirt that we selling at ABC? Well, here's the link to our shop, right? You can also use the camera for that. Like, this is what we're selling. This says drink water, love hard, and fight racism. Like, if you're feeling it, like, click the link that I just dropped in our private chat. And this will be everybody at our table because it's a table chat, and you can have access to purchase this sweatshirt. Also, with that being said, another feature is the share button. So just as you would do on Zoom, down at the bottom here, I'm going to click share. We got a lot going on, so I'm gonna give her a moment. I'm gonna go to a window. And I already have my shop ready. I'm gonna share that. I'm just gonna hit this to get rid of this. And now I can show her the other things that I offer. Can we see this?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. And so it's like, not only do we have this amazing sweatshirt that I just showed you, girl, we got this too. We got these t-shirts. We have these hoodies, masks, spiral notebooks. And so this is a way that you can also display your products or services, right? Because everybody is not selling products. If you offer services, you can pull up a PowerPoint, you can pull up your website and show people what you do. I'm gonna stop sharing now and I'll stop here for questions. I know that was a lot. Does anybody have any questions that I might be able to answer?
Hi, this is Amanda. I have a quick question from Endlessly Cherished. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Do we load the pictures of the items like in advance, or do we wait till we're in the market and someone asks and then we load them then?
Good question. So what I just shared was actually a web browser that I had open. So I would suggest having all of your resources that you want to share nearby or already open on your desktop. So then when you go to share it, you can just show what's already there.
Got it. So just a clarifying statement, I guess. So I could essentially, if someone comes to my virtual spot, which this is amazing, by the way, my virtual spot, then I can just, when I want to share with them, I can share my screen and then just open up my website and just show them my actual website. Does that sound right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
And I would suggest to cut down on time already having your website open. So
gotcha.
like open up a different tab, have your website there, and then go to share screen and it's already ready.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you all for putting this together. This is super amazing.
Of course. Anyone else?
Hi, this is Kieran from Amana Consulting. I echo the statement that this is a phenomenal tool and really appreciate being exposed to it. My question is, when you put things in the chat, the table chat, does it remain in the table chat for everyone who joins your table? How does that work?
That's a good question.
I can take that one, Amber. So yeah, so it'll stay up the same way it stays for the Zoom. So it'll be up for the duration of the event, but you are able to chat privately with someone if you at the table, if you would like as well. There is an option when you're chatting to either chat with the entire table or to do personal individualized chats as well.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. So as just to show that on the public chat, I can have a general chat, a table chat, and then I can private chat with Chevelle and Kamari because they're the only other two people on the platform right now. But if there were other people, you would see their names there as well. I see a hand. Janice?
Yes. Question, can we play a video? Say we have our items in a video reel. Can we also just play a video if we want to?
Yep. I would just suggest, like I said earlier with the website, if you open up the window and have that just ready to go, once you go to share, just click on the window that your video is in or website that your video is
Gotcha.
in and press play. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi, I have a question. I don't know how to raise the raise hand. I don't really use Zoom too much anymore, so forgive me if I cut someone off. But I have a quick question. My name is Vonda Lewis from VL Makes Jewelry. My question is, do we have an opportunity to play around with the system and familiarize ourselves with it for a few days before we actually get started? I'd like to play around with it just to familiarize myself with it.
Chevelle, you want to take that one?
Yes. So unfortunately, with how the system is set up, it doesn't allow us to be in it for days at a time without having like the administrative capabilities that we would
Okay.
have on the back end.
Mhm.
But we do again have that 30-minute time frame at the beginning, and we will be on, our ABC staff and team will be on for the duration of the event, and we will have a help desk on the fourth floor as well. So now that I know you want to play in the system, if you let me know once you're in the day of the event, I'm more than happy to kind of like come to your table, making sure that everything is set up so you can play with the functions with an actual participant.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Christina?
Thank you. Christina Williams with Comena Collective Benefit. Wondering if you currently have or could share with us the list of attendees who will be coming through, just so that maybe we can get an idea of like what to anticipate in terms of like registration flow, like how many people we could probably expect at any given time.
There, the attendees, as we get a little bit closer to the event, we have the capabilities to host up to 400 people at one time. Each floor can hold, I'm sorry, we have 5 floors, so 500 people total for the event. Each floor can host up to 100 people at one time. And so we think that because it is like a time period, like a few hour time period for the event, that people will more than likely pop in and pop out. But that is definitely something that we can share as it gets closer to the event and we cut off like the attendee registration.
Thank you.
Eric, you had a question?
Yeah, do you have training videos on this?
So the platform does have training videos. So what I can do is I can also include those links in the follow-up email as well.
Thank you.
I'm just curious from a design perspective, does all the floors look the same?
Do look exactly the same.
Hi, I have a question again. So I noticed that when you were looking at what else was available in the other floors, you had to leave a floor to even see what's in the other floor. Is that the way that this works?
Yes.
Yeah, so it almost functions as like how it would in a building where there are offices on one floor and then
Okay.
you go to the next floor and there are different set of offices. So the vendors are spread out across the first 4 floors. And on that 5th floor is just kind of general space if attendees want to again meet, collaborate, or if you want to have like a private conversation outside of like your table that's set up for you.
Is there like a map or something that lets them know what vendors are on what floor outside of this view, or is the only way to know by jumping between floors?
I believe if you pull it up in the view, Amber, it should come up.
Wait, where's that?
It's right under your camera button.
Under my camera button?
Yeah, so do you see where you and Kamari are?
Yeah. Oh, something is blocking that. Sorry, I have something blocking that. Okay, there we go. So it says floor, small tiles for map exploration, a gallery.
Okay, so I do believe there is a way to see who's on the floors, and I'm not sure if it's just not giving us the list, but again, I'll double check and I can follow up via email for that question if that's okay.
That's great. Thank you.
Hello, how you
Good,
doing? I just
how
had a
are you?
good. Hi, my name is Jaleesa Arnold. I'm the owner of Soulful Catering, and I just wanted to know if you leave your table to go to another floor when you said unless you have someone else there at your table, you have to stay put the whole event at your table in case someone else is rounding and may have questions. How would I be able to assign someone else to my table and still be able to navigate the other floors?
So your second person would just need to also register through that link, and they would just be seated at the table with you.
Would that take away the amount of chairs available for other guests?
Yes, it would, because it would hold a seat at that table.
Oh,
So
okay.
what you could do, if you don't want them to stay there the whole entire time, if you just want them to like kind of pop in as you move about the space, you can message them again through the platform or send them a text message and say like, hey, I really want to, go look at another vendor or another floor. Would you mind sitting here while, you take a look around in the different spaces if you don't want that person to be occupied and hold that seat for the duration of the event.
Okay, because I just want to make sure I'm able to mix and mingle and meet
Absolutely.
everyone. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And
Can we
Donald,
please know
Good
what
evening.
floor we're on?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that question.
I said, can we please get to hi, I'm Quandra Gray, what the Sprout. Could we know what floor we're on for advertising purposes or letting people know when you come in, I'm on floor.
Sure. So I have all the tables labeled. What I can do is again just send out in the email a full list of all of the vendors and which floor that you're on ahead of the event, so you can use that in your promotions.
All right. Good evening, y'all. Thank you so much. As everyone said, thanks for, I want to echo and thanks you guys for putting this event together. I noticed, this is Donald Young, your favorite community health worker, and I noticed at the spot where I am, there appear to be two chairs that would be panelist chairs, my chair, and then I would invite a panelist. But then where I see all of those brown table tents, are they the amount of people that I get to have in the room at that specific time at one time?
So you have the kind of like the chair, the couch space. So yes, that's how many attendees that you would be able to host at any given time.
So that appears to be 7 around, and then these two chairs making 9.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much.
And were there any additional questions?
Yes, this is Jan Stouffer again. You mentioned promotions. So can we give this to customers and or do they have to register to be able to come in? How does that work?
Yeah, so they would need to register through that link that I shared in the chat. And again, I'll share that via email as well. The event is free for attendees. So we definitely want you to be able to promote this to your customer base and on social media as well. But to actually gain access to the platform, they would need to register through that link.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I can piggyback off of that, is there like a media kit, excuse me, a media kit of images we can use on social media or something that's already been developed?
So we have a standard graphic that we have used for the event. We don't have like a full suite of graphics, but we can share just like the standard graphic that we've been using for this event, and we can also share kind of some verbiage that we've been using as well. And you're more than welcome to contour it or add any of your own personal touches to whatever we send.
That would be great. Thank you.
Are there any additional questions?
Just a very quick question. This is Naomi of Compass Advising Group. Can you remind me of the timeline?
So the event timeline is, the event will run from 5:30 to 8:30 with the attendees being able to pop in and out as freely as they would like. Again, we would like our vendors to be on as early as 5 o'clock, 5:10 if possible, just so we can make sure that you're set up in your space, that your camera and microphone is working, and that we're able to troubleshoot any tech issues ahead of the event. But again, there's no set time for the attendees, and we're pretty sure that there'll be heavy periods of time, and then there may be some slower periods of time as people pop in and out.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I had my hand up, put it down because I forgot.
No, it's okay.
It came back to me again real quick. So in that space, I intend to have community-based organizations come in and talk about the services that they provide in the community. So can they incorporate their logo to what you have on your Melanin Market flyer? Can they incorporate their logo to say, hey, the Sons of Phoenix or the Rich Foundation will be presenting at the Melanin Market on the 26th?
Yes, and we did have a vendor that did do that. They just kind of used like the top logo, the Melanin Market graphics. I'll make sure I send just a header, and then they had their picture on the flyer along with their organization, and the verbiage just stated that, join them at the Melanin Market, and they include the link for people to register as well. So yes, more than happy. We want you to promote on your end, and to reach to your networks and to be able to touch audiences that you may not be able to traditionally touch, since this is a virtual marketplace.
Yep, and I think it will generate a lot of traffic if I incorporate those organizations' logo. You guys will
Absolutely.
get a big influx of traffic. Thanks.
And as you share on social media, please be sure to tag us as well, so we can reshare on our end.
Sure.
I just wanted to add, and I don't know if you all heard about the blackout that everybody has been talking about that's going to happen on February 28th, but this market is a great way to divert people to come and shop with us.
Yes.
People they can relate to and identify and support our businesses. So this could not come at a better time with all of the boycotts going on.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we definitely did take that into consideration. And we were looking at ways that we could circulate the Black dollar within our community and definitely get some Black entrepreneurs and Black businesses in front of people, because we've been hearing a lot of talk like, well, where do we shop? Where do we get these items? And we're like, well, I know somebody that does this and we know somebody that does that. So this is also helping us put together a collective list of organizations, again, that look like us, that we can share with the broader community, even after this event.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Anyone else have any additional questions?
I have one last question. Are all of the
Yes.
vendors Maryland based?
I am not 100% sure. The goal was to have vendors across the country, because this was virtual, and to be able to touch vendors that you might can't typically touch just due to, different geographical reasons.
Okay.
So our reach is across the country. So if there is anybody that you would think would be interested, again, this is a free event, so we would love to have as many businesses and attendees attend as possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Again, I wanted to be conscientious of everyone's time. So I just wanted to give just a few best practices for the event. Again, we'll open it back up if anyone has any additional questions, and just go over a few event logistics for the evening. Just a few engagement tips. We want to make sure that you're greeting visitors and do have a presence at your table when people when people come to your tables. That's why we did kind of make it a fact of saying that you do want to have a representative from your business at the table if you do decide to float, if possible. Definitely want to make sure that you have a clear call to action for this event, whether it's a purchase, a sign up. For attendees that follow you on social media, you definitely want to make sure that that's kind of ironed out for attendees before they come to your table. And again, be sure to use that private chat feature just to have those deeper conversations. Again, with the general conversations, they will stay up for the duration of the event. But if there is something more private that you would like to share with an attendee, definitely feel free to use that private chat for that conversation to stay just between the two of you. And in regards to the screen sharing and link dropping, we definitely want to make sure that you're able to share your screens for the presentations, any presentations or videos that you may have, making sure that you have any links available to your websites or order forms as well. And again, by logging on that 30 minutes earlier, you'll definitely have access to the staff, not only during that time, but during the event, where we're able to jump around and troubleshoot any issues for you that you may have with the platform. And just to double check that all the links are working in advance. I know sometimes with the internet, sometimes the links get disrupted. So we just want to make sure that all of your links are working ahead of the event, just for this, so you have a smooth attendee experience as well. And also definitely feel free to collect any data from attendees as well. You are free to do that. If you have a sign-up form that's either a written one that you can drop a link in for, or have a link to the website where people can sign up for a newsletter or subscribe to your website, definitely feel free to include that. If there are any QR codes that you have or any other means to capture attendees' information, definitely feel free to get that information. That's not something that's frowned upon. We want you to be able to connect with different people and to build your business at this event. Were there any questions about kind of any of those like best practices or engagement tips, or did anyone have any questions about anything else? Yep. Quandra,
Yes,
is that, I'm sorry, is that how you pronounce it?
yes, it's Quandra. Can you click through while we're still talking? Can you click through the floors and remove that bar so we can see? I want to see.
I'm sorry, you said click through the floors.
Yeah,
It kind of cut out.
yes, while we're sitting, like just looking. Thank you.
Yes. And again, each floor is identical. All of the vendors are laid out. And again, I will send a layout, which floor each vendor is on just ahead of the event. So you don't have to click through the floors and search for your specific table name. We will have an ABC help desk that you're always able to navigate on the 4th floor. And again, the 5th floor is completely open tables. If you do want to step aside, have a more intimate private conversation as well, that floor is available for that.
Val, did you want to talk about the raffles?
Yep. So lastly, during this event, we are going to also host giveaways and raffles on our end throughout the event. So there will be some raffle items that ABC will contribute. But if there are any products or services that you would like to offer during our raffle, definitely please let me know and we'll make sure to incorporate those during the event. With the raffles and the giveaways, there is a way, because we're the host, to pause the event and pause all conversations for announcement. So everyone will watch the same screen for that. But again, if you are interested in partaking in a raffle or giveaway or raffling off a product or service, please let us know and we'll make sure to incorporate that during that set time as well. Okay, perfect. Well, there are no more questions. Again, we're so excited for this event and so excited to have you join us. Definitely please share the link, post on social media, invite everyone that you know. We're so excited and we hope that this event is fulfilling. We hope it leads to new business generation. We hope it builds to new network connections. And we hope it's successful because this is something that we would like to host again this year as well. So just come prepared, be engaged, and be prepared to have fun. This is going to be a super fun event. And again, we're super excited to have you. We will follow up with this video in an email so that you have this. I will also share just some regular training videos that come from the platform as well. So you have another vantage point to see what the platform looks like. And we'll share some additional attendee details with you through that email as well. But if you have any questions beforehand, definitely please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to jump on or answer any questions that you may have. Okay, perfect. Well, if there are no more questions, I don't want to hold up your time. Definitely all have a good evening and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
you.